Hi, welcome back to the story. Broken trust, a family, the police, and a system in question. Part 4, the children left behind. At the center of every accusation, every court appearance, and every police report in this Cairns family's saga are two young children, a son and a daughter, whose lives have been shaped by conflict not of their making. For the husband, now estranged from both his wife and his children, their welfare remains his deepest concern. Yet, he insists, the system designed to protect children has repeatedly failed them. Living with absence. For more than 6 months, the husband has not seen his children. Once part of their daily lives, cooking their meals, walking them to school, tucking them into bed, he is now excluded entirely. They went from having a father who was always there to having nothing, he said. That's not just my loss. That's their loss too. Milestones have passed without him. He missed his son's primary school graduation, Christmas morning, and the symbolic first step into high school. He missed months of day-to-day bonding that shapes a child's sense of security. Kids need both parents, he said. Instead, they've been used like pawns in a game they never asked to play. Exposure to conflict. The husband alleges that the children have been exposed to a pattern of instability in their mother's care. He recalls countless times she would storm out of the house after a simple question, even something as small as him asking, "How was your day?" Her reaction, he claims, was to escalate into arguments and then vanish, sometimes for up to 3 nights in a row, leaving him to juggle the children, his business, and his full-time workload alone. Later, he discovered those absences were allegedly spent with other men. She abandoned her responsibilities at home, he said, and now she's the one with full control of the kids. He further describes her as quick to anger, recounting stories of her explosive temper on the road, swearing at strangers, engaging in road rage, and behaving, in his words, like she could do whatever she wanted without consequences. For the husband, the idea that this behavior has continued while the children are in her care is a source of deep anxiety. The broken promise of Melbourne. One episode illustrates the sense of powerlessness he feels. The wife promised he would have his children for 1 week while she traveled to Melbourne. She used his flight voucher to book her tickets. He believed he finally had precious time ahead with his kids, but instead, she booked extra flights with the same voucher, left a day earlier, and took the children with her. For 2 weeks, the husband had no knowledge of their whereabouts. He contacted authorities but says no action was taken. "I was left sitting at home with no idea where my children were. No father should ever experience that," he said. "The system is meant to protect kids and ensure parents have rights. But when I needed it most, it did nothing." A no-contact order turned against him. The husband is also constrained by a no-contact order preventing him from communicating with his wife. While intended as a protective measure, he says it has instead become a weapon against him. He alleges that his wife continues to contact him, but when she does, she uses the order as leverage. "She threatens me constantly," he said. "If I don't do what she wants, she says she'll call the police and have me locked up again. One phone call, and I could be back in jail. That's the power she has over me, and she uses it." He fears that this dynamic, too, affects the children. They're growing up watching their father erased and their mother calling the shots with no accountability. That's not a healthy environment. The system's silence. At the heart of the husband's frustration is what he sees as a system unwilling to act. Authorities were alerted to his wife's allegedly illegal cleaning business, but nothing has been done. Welfare agencies were told of undeclared cash income alongside pension payments, but there has been no consequence. Child services were informed of the children being withheld, yet the husband remains cut off. Police, he says, enforced the no-contact order against him, but not against her. "Everywhere I turn, I hit a wall," he said. "They tell you the system is there to protect kids and families, but all I see is silence." The children's future. As the legal battles continue, the husband says his greatest fear is not for himself, but for the impact on his children. They've lost their father, they've seen anger, instability, lies. They've learned that rules don't apply equally, he said. What does that teach them? What kind of adults will they become if this is their example? He believes the system, in its current form, has not just failed him, but has failed the children most of all. They deserve better than this. Every child does. Editor's note: these are allegations and have not been independently verified. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.